Welcome to Ellis Mowers and More. Been doing riding mowers for a while because that's what y'all like content-wise. The views on YouTube say that y'all do, especially Craftsman garden tractors. But I haven't done a lot of push mower content lately. Figured this would be helpful for you. This is the classic, I hit a root with my push mower and it no longer works situation. So there's a few possibilities that it could be. One, the worst one would be the engine jarred itself and broke and on the inside and all that stuff, and you'll feel it. It'll either have compression issues or something along those lines. Best case scenario, you just bent your blade, you replace your blade, and you're good to go. Another situation, you could have a bent shaft, crankshaft on the bottom. Sometimes you can bolt that back in and whack it back into place and let it be good enough to where you can still use it. Maybe a little bit of vibration, but you can do that. I've done videos, I think, on that quite a few times. Got another machine out there. The issue with this one, I'll show you here, is actually a sheared flywheel key, which is another good case here. We have a bent blade and a sheared flywheel key. Now, to determine if you've got a sheared flywheel key, if you come back here and pull it, and it rips the cord out of your hand just like that, then that means your timing is off and that you need to have it fixed. So that's what's happening with this. I'll show you underneath the mower here in just a second, but we'll go ahead and get started with this repair next, and it should be a pretty easy one. So I've already got a new blade on, pretty easy to do, but this blade actually was loose, this old blade. It was also one of them universal blades, and you can see how bent it was as well. And the fact that this thing probably needed to be replaced like 2 or 3 seasons ago also, this thing's going to cut a lot better for the guy. But another symptom of a bad flywheel key is obviously ripping it out of your hand, but the blade actually jarring itself loose. I've seen that happen a couple of times on these. So, given all that, we're done with the blade portion of this on the bottom. I don't necessarily see really any bent crankshaft or anything just by looking at where the blade's oriented on the mower deck on each side. So hopefully we're good there, and I'll get y'all up on the other side so that we can replace this flywheel key. So this should be pretty easy to do as long as the flywheel comes off. We need a 5/16 to take this off. The 3 bolts on the top, and then down here it's a 15/16 or 3/4 on this. So this is 15/16. Okay. 15/16 to take the cut off the top here, and then if you look, after you do that, you can actually see that the flywheel key is sheared right there, right there. So that's where the key is on the flywheel. That's where it is on the shaft. So it is sheared, luckily. Hopefully that is the only issue with this. What I'm going to do now is put this nut back on flush. We should not need a lot of force to get this off. I am going to throw a little bit of WD-40 down the threads here and down the shaft. Help penetrate it and let it loosen up a little bit. But since this mower is only 4 years old and it looks like it's been kept out of the weather, it shouldn't be much of an issue. So we're going to get this flush here on the top. I'm going to grab a hammer. We'll see if I can get up under here. Right here. I'm just going to tap it a couple times. There we go. Don't get too aggressive with it because you don't want to do the threads, mess the threads up too bad. But now we can just pull this flywheel key or flywheel out. We can get rid of the old key here, which you can see is sheared. And I'm going to go find a new key, which I should have plenty of them. And we'll put this on, and hopefully this thing will run great after that. He said it used to always start on the first pull, so it should do the same. Alright, time to put it back together. And should be easy. We got the flywheel key here. I'll have a link in the description if you need a flywheel key. And somebody's just leaving, so that's going off. Pull your flywheel brake back here. Get everything nice and lined up, and then take your flywheel key and just push it in, just like that. You may have to find a little screwdriver to tap it down with. Not that big of a deal, but this is the way I usually do it. There you go. So now it's in there nice and tight, and then you're going to take your flywheel cup there, (15/16). Get it nice and tight, and then you just put your may have to pull this to get it locked in, but put your cover back on. Also need to check his air filter and stuff. That actually looks okay. The oil kind of looked a little gray, which I don't know. We may just change it for him. He said as long as it costs less than $100 to fix. I mean, a blade, a flywheel key, and an oil change ain't gonna get $100, at least in my shop. So he should be good. Let's actually take this. Let's see if we can do this all in one take here. Proof of repair, right? He was going to throw the mower out, and I got it there and said, I'll look at it, because he said a clanging noise, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. But I think we've got it. I'll bring it out here to y'all. Let's see if it'll start like it's supposed to now. Check the blade real quick, just to make sure it's good. Still. It feels tight, so I think we're okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This thing, like I said, dead in the water. As long as you have some basic tools, pry bar, hammer, impact, and this is like a 5-minute job. So there it is, guys. Craftsman M220 push mower. Hit it something hard, hit a root or something along those lines. Bent a blade that already needed to be replaced, so really no loss there. And just sheared the flywheel key. Gave it an oil change. It's ready to rock and roll again for the customer. Just a lesson. Just don't throw it away. You never know. Doesn't need much. Didn't need much. 15 minutes. Got this thing back ready to rock and roll. After it was down for who knows how long. So, guy should be happy. Keeping it under his threshold of how much it would cost to fix it. And he's got himself a good mower again. Hopefully y'all found this video helpful. If you're looking for a, tips on how to fix a mower, whenever you maybe hit a root or something along those lines and you think it's terminal, not so much the case here, which is a good thing. So got them back going, and maybe this will get you back going as well. I really appreciate y'all watching this video, and I will catch y'all on the next one.